Hello everyone. Today I want to talk to you about some pros and cons about going to college. I have 10 pros and 10 cons. And I have my list here just so that I don't not say what I was thinking. Alright, number one. That would be online is convenient. It's very convenient, but that convenience can quickly turn into procrastination. So you want to be really careful with taking online courses if you're not the type of person that can control your procrastination. The con to taking online courses is that it can be expensive. Some of the expensive ones are like DeVry University or the University of Phoenix. Those two ones are pretty expensive. Number two, freedom with time. You get freedom with time, but like I said, if you're the type of person that procrastinates, that's probably not a good thing. So the con to having more time, more freedom with time, is it requires discipline. You need to be disciplined. Number three, little to no peer distraction. So like if you're the type of person, which me, I had like attention problems. I could hear people tapping their pen or like tapping my chair with their foot or whatever. That type of stuff distracted me, so I wanted to eliminate that, the white noise of the classroom. So a little to no peer distraction, but the con of that is that you get the less of the traditional college experience. So like passing notes or tapping each other on the shoulder and whispering something, or maybe even like meeting up with your peers after class or whatever. You can still do that online, but it takes more coordination. Whereas if you're walking out of the classroom with somebody that you go to class with on campus, you can just talk to each other. Okay, number four is you get accelerated courses, which means you finish faster. But the con of that is there's more reading. You gotta read a lot. Some of my classes, like I ended up reading like 30 pages, and they do teach you methods that you can use to skim through to make sure that you're like not sitting there forever reading, but at the same time, you still gonna read. You still going to read. It's gonna happen. Okay. Number five, less instructor interference. So that basically means that you don't have to worry about your teacher like coming up behind you and looking over your shoulder or whatever, or asking you unsolicited questions. I hated that in school where my teacher would be like, Miss Davidson, oh, well, what do you think about this topic? And I'm like, fudge. I don't want to answer this question. I already have enough work. and don't get me wrong, the online teachers, when they see that you have the potential and that you're intelligent or whatever, they will ask you questions and they expect you to answer them, but they don't ask you too many. So that still does happen in the online courses, but just not as much. So basically, the number five was less instructor interference. But then, you get unsolicited guidance. Less unsolicited guidance. And that could be a bad thing for some people who need it. They need it. They need the teacher to come up to them and say, hey, how's everything going? Maybe you have a frustrated look on your face, and the teacher reads that and comes up to you and says, hey, do you need help? So, yeah, pros and cons of that. 6. You can work full-time. That's a pro of going to online college. You can work full-time or part-time or whatever, and you still get college stipends if you need them. You can arrange that with your counselor. But the con of that is you have a heavier workload, which sucks, because you're going to be going to school and working full-time, and you got to for your family or whatever. You have to be able to balance all of that, because it can get really overwhelming. Number 7. The pro that I think should definitely be on this list is that you can learn from anywhere. You could be in France, Germany, wherever, and you can learn from anywhere, and you can learn any topic online, which is great. But the con to that is you gotta have internet. If you don't have internet, how are you gonna learn from online? You need to have internet, and sometimes that adds that extra expense that you have to pay for. But I think it's worth it. Number 8. You know what to expect. So the school that I went to, we had 2 discussions and we had a quiz sometimes. And we were well warned before we were given the quiz. There were no pop quizzes. You basically, you knew that there was an assignment every week, and you knew how long the assignment was going to be. And on average, you knew how many references you were going to have. So you kind of knew what to expect, and you were able to achieve that, so that a lot of the assignments, there was no guesswork. You knew that you were going to have certain criteria, and that helps aim. Number 9, you have choices, but the con to that is you have more decisions. That's self-explanatory. Number 10 is you have more topics to choose from, but the con of that is you have more research. There you go. Hope you enjoyed.